Do you know that the word angel comes from a Greek word angeles, which basically means messenger? Do you also know that the oldest book in the Bible is the book of Job and not the book of Genesis? Importantly, do you know that the temptations that Jesus Christ faced, he quoted the book of Deuteronomy. That says that Jesus Christ actually took time to study the Bible, or rather to study scriptures, before he met the devil. What makes you think that you can face the devil with your own wisdom and wit? Don't be a casual or careless Bible reader, because you'll be a careless Christian. Just dig a little bit deeper and you will be rooted. Welcome to the Bible in 3D. This is a program whereby we look at the stories in the Bible in an intimate and in a scrutinized way, so that you can be able to invoke and provoke your mind to be able to go back to scriptures and dig more, so that you can be able to get value from them. If you are getting value from these videos, kindly subscribe to this particular channel so that you can also be counted upon the people who spread the gospel. And today we are going to talk about the demon-possessed, the Joel version. Without ado, let us get into it.
Oh na 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 na, na 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 na, yeah na na na. Though I speak the tongues of man and even tongues of angels, and have no love, I'm nothing but a sounding cymbal. Though I have the gift of prophecy and even understanding of the mysteries of the Almighty, I am nothing.
So, let me tell you how this story began. He whispered into my ears, "Hey, can I come in?" I dismissed it as a mere daydream and I went about my activities of herding the animals. But these whispers kept on increasing in frequency and intensity. I even told my folk about it, but they dismissed me, saying that I was just looking for scapegoats, not to be able to attend my daily chores and routines. Soon, these voices were not just whispering, but they seemed to have occupied my entire mind, and they were giving crystal clear messages that made me to start having these labile moods and dizzy spells, which later progressed to me having erratic behaviors of clumsiness, aggressiveness, and being abusive. This was courtesy of the new occupants of my mind. Later, my parents realized that these erratic moods, or rather erratic behaviors, have become more and more frequent. So they decided to take me to a shrink, basically a counselor or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, who did what they do best. He diagnosed me and told them that I was suffering from a condition called schizophrenia. If you don't know what schizophrenia is, don't worry, I'll tell you. It is basically a mental disorder that is characterized by faulty ideas, perceptions, and actions. And after he made that classic diagnosis, he handed a potion to me and told me that I'm supposed to drink it. This potion used to make me so drowsy and sleepy during the day, and I used to have hallucinations at night. In fact, the voices within me objected to this particular potion because I was just nothing but a daze of myself, and they instructed me to become so aggressive and violent because they didn't like this at any cost. I'm sorry. I've just decided to say all these stories and blab out without even introducing myself. I apologize for my uncouth behavior. I was born in Gerasenes, which is basically an area that was known for people who came from pilgrim or from fight. It is one of the 10 cities of the Decapolis. I've lost you. Somebody is saying that they don't know where I'm talking about. Okay, I'll try and bring it a little bit home. This is the current area between the Jordan area all the way up to Syria. You're now understanding where I came from? Yes. Now, my folk, or rather my kinsmen, were largely farmers who grew crops and took care of animals. But the large and the main source of income was pig farming. It was not only a source of revenue, but it was a statement in the society. The more number of pigs you had, the more esteemed you became in the society. As you can see, I became demon-possessed in my mid-years of life, and this can be attributed to the rampant idolatry practices that were within my area. It is no secret, my friends, that people within my area used to invoke evil spirits just to be able to become wealthy or just to be able to be elevated in the society. And hence, there were very many cases of people who were evil, who had evil spirits, or largely known as being demon-possessed. I can comfortably say I became a victim of my society. I can't really explain, but it started manifesting by me being able to beat 5, 10, 15, 20 people with remarkable ease. And when I was asked to explain it, I could not be able to. My parents literally moved from one medicine man to another, trying to look for a solution to be able to bring me to sanity, with no success. I underwent various rituals and practices. I took all forms of pills, herbs, name it. I drank everything that was placed in my hand in an attempt to be able to bring me to sanity. But it seemed the harder they tried, the more worse I became, because immediately I moved from one medicine man to another. It seemed like the number of evil spirits kept on increasing rather than decreasing. So I became this dangerous person in the society that people literally used to look over their shoulders whenever I was in an area, because I would easily damage their property or bring bodily harm to them. They resorted to start using other means to be able to try and contain me. I would wake up and find that I've been tied with straws just to be contained. But I found a way to be able to untie myself from these particular straws. Later, they progressed to starting using ropes. And I soon found a way of how to be able to get myself out of those ropes. So they took it a notch higher and started binding me with chains. To their amazement, I easily snapped out of those chains. I was unkempt and neglected personal hygiene. I even started developing some kind of raspy kind of voice that was unexplainable both to me and to them. And I was such a stare to look at that people didn't want to look at me twice. So the community held a meeting, and it was unanimously decided that I could no longer be able to occupy the habitable spaces of men, and I had to be taken out of the society. I was therefore bound in chains and banished out and told to get a place to stay. And I resorted to go and stay in the nearby tombs that faced the sea. And to my amazement, the voices within me seemed to like this new form of accommodation, because they literally ran from one tomb to another, laughing hysterically, talking to the bodies and the spirits that were there as if they were acquainted to each other. I became very aggressive while I was there, and any group of men who would come to the tombs to bury their loved ones, or who used the tombs as a route to their destination, could never ever bypass me, because I literally would unleash terror towards them. The sad reality and part is that I completely had no control over my actions. It seemed like any desire, any move that I would do was courtesy of the demons. Whatever they wanted to do, wherever they wanted to go, they just used me as a medium to be able to fulfill the burning and urging desires that they had. I would say that I was just a pawn in a game of demons. The saddest and the worst part came when the demons started antagonizing each other, or rather, one demon will have one desire, another one will have another desire, and they will fight within me. This caused my heart to beat so fast that my chest wanted to give way for the heart to come out. My mind literally melted, that I used to take off my clothes because I was in such a form of distress and I didn't even notice it. Many times I tried to end my agony. I remember taking sharp objects and piercing my wrists, stabbing my chest, trying to slit my throat. But the demons kept on laughing hysterically, and they would say, "Who told you that you can end your life? Where do you expect us to stay? You have no say in whatever is going on right inside you. Your body, your mind, your thoughts, and your actions are purely under our control." I was such a state to look at, to say the least. If somebody would look at me and imagine the way I was, it was a distasteful test, with chains, hanging chains all over my body. I had these wounds that covered my body in different healing stages. Some were fresh and some were old. My hair was long and kempt, full of fleas. I had these bloodshot eyes because I had lacked sleep for countless number of days and months. I can't even remember the last time that I had a decent meal, or even just took a bath, or even just slept for 2 hours. I was literally a ticking time bomb, waiting for the day that I shall be able to explode.
Oh, na 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 na. Na 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 na, yeah, na na na. Though I speak the tongues of man and even tongues of angels, and have no love, I'm nothing but a sounding cymbal. Though I have the gift of prophecy and even understanding of the mysteries of the Almighty, I am nothing without love. Without love, the world would not go round and round. But God is love, He makes the world go round. Without love, the world would not go round and round. But God is love, He makes the world go round. You see, the devil is a liar.